Hi everybody and welcome to I Can View This All Day, and today we are talking about a personal favourite of mine, Starship Troopers from 1997. I saw this in the cinema with my wife and she feckin' hated it, whereas I came out all gung-ho, ready to storm a building, you know, hoo-ha, Marines, and all that kind of shit. What do you think of this movie?
I'm doing my part. Yeah, so I've known about this movie for so long. Like, I know all the imagery, I knew what it was about, but I just never sat down to actually watch it.
This your first viewing?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise this was
Yeah,
the first time.
never seen it before. That's why I put it on, because we've been playing a game lately, Helldivers 2, and you've just been saying non-stop about Starship Troopers. And I was like, okay, I can see why you would think they're similar. And then you watch this movie, and you're like, oh no, they literally just stole, like, even the idea of, like, we're sort of the bad guys. Like, we're going to these planets and disturbing these species, and then we're all gung-ho, let's kill them all.
Everything about this is Helldivers 2, and I don't understand how they've managed to get away with it. I mean, even remind us, what are the aliens called in Helldivers 2?
Terminids, but they're just referred to as bugs, and that's what they call them in this. Yeah.
So I don't know how they got away with that, because it literally is just a copy of. I mean, even down to the kind of the infomercials and
propaganda,
all the propaganda,
even
stuff.
the citizenship,
creature design as well. The bugs are cut and paste from this movie.
Oh, absolutely, 100%, the exact same. I did like about the bug. One thing I will say is I was not expecting the CGI in this to look as good as it does. Bug effects are stellar, especially for I assume this didn't have like a massive budget.
It had 110 million budget. Half of that was on special effects, which I think you can absolutely see. Because let's be truthful, it certainly wasn't on some of the acting talent, was it? Because fuck me, they are wooden as hell.
I like the cast in this. I don't have a problem. Like it is going for a very kind of cheesiness, like a cheesiness to it, you know. And I think that comes through. Like it's a silly movie.
You know my love of Denise Richards and a funny gob and weird walk and stance kind
I
of
didn't
bullshit.
have a problem with her walking this at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
I would have pushed her down a bug mound, I tell you. She got right on my tits. That stupid grin all the way through. And she's a bitch as well, James. I mean, she basically cock teases that poor guy into joining the army and then fucks off with a pilot, doesn't she?
That is true. And the entire time you're like, oh, what are you doing? Like talking to, why are you even talking to this guy? When they're at the football game, like, you know that you're gonna piss off your boyfriend talking to another, like the enemy team's captain, you know.
Yeah, she just doesn't care. So anyway, back to the story. This is basically, like you said, a propaganda story of the great earthlings going off into space and basically conquering an alien planet, and the alien planet fights back. This is based on a book from 1959. It takes a bit of liberty with the source material and adds a lot of fun elements to it. It got a lot of grief back in the day because people said it was kind of promoting fascism and things like that. I don't think it does. I think it's very tongue-in-cheek.
Well, that's exactly it. It's like a stab at fascism. It's making fun of it. It's a parody. How do you not understand that?
We touched on the acting talent. We did have some decent hitters in here. Michael Ironside, I think, plays an amazing part.
Absolutely brilliant. My favorite character, I would think. He was just so good. When he was at the start, just as the teacher, I was a bit like, oh, I love him, but like, oh, is that all he is in this? And then later on he shows up, I'm like, fuck yeah.
I mean, my favourite bit is when the poor guy gets... Well, I want to ask you about this. The guy gets caught by one of the flying things, flown up into the nest, and he's about to die, and Michael Ironside's character shoots him in the head, on the chest, and then kind of notices people looking at him and goes, I'd expect every one of you to do the same for me, or whatever. Now, just before that, he looks up and sees the rocks and things moving up above. So he knows there's something up above. And then he says to that bloke, go and get some higher ground. Did he send him up there to kill him? To know he's going to get bumped off?
They gotta cover all areas, you know what I mean? Like,
what a prick, honestly. But no, I loved his character. I thought he was very cool. And there was some other good characters in this. Little Doogie Howser. I didn't realise Doogie Howser was in this. I forgot about him.
As like, he's like, I love how quickly he climbs the ladder as well, because he's obviously the genius out of everybody. He's like Colonel by the end of the film. You know, comes in and kind of acts like a prick, but then they all walk into the sunset like besties again. You know, I thought that was fun. Why is there psychics in this universe? I thought that was a strange element.
You've watched a film with giant brain bugs and, you know, ones that suck brains out, and you're concerned about psychics? You want to know why there's psychics?
Yes. Yeah, but this is Earth, like our Earth, presumably in the future. So just psychics just show up out of nowhere?
Whoa. We have psychics already. We have Uri Geller. How do you explain Uri Geller?
Huh? My sincerest apologies, I forgot.
I liked his character. I liked the parallels as well when he comes at the end and kind of the leather trench coat kind of thing. And it really does kind of strike me as German kind of intelligence officer.
That cap particularly, I think, is a bit like...
So we've mentioned the creature design a little bit. I thought they were pretty spectacular. I thought the special effects on them were amazing. Did you have a favourite bug?
I just like the bog standard. That's my favorite. Although the weird looking brain one. Oh no, the big one that comes out of the ground. I wasn't expecting that one. I was like, oh shit. And like, I like how Rico gets on top and shoots him on the back and like saves the day. I thought that was a really, really cool sequence.
I like when it's spewing the kind of the whatever it is, that acid stuff that sets people on fire and you see the arms melting and stuff like that.
I was not expecting this to be as gory as it is. There's people losing heads and getting ripped in half and everything. I was like, Jesus Christ, I thought this was like a campy B-movie kind of thing, but I was like, fuck.
Thinking of the bugs, I'm trying to picture which one you would be, James. I see myself as the brain bug.
The fat one.
No, I'm the brain bug, and you're probably one of the, the little red ones that kind of just carry us along. I could say that. Next time we go to a con, that's what we should cosplay, right? You can carry me along.
I'll carry you on my back.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'll just drag you around on the floor. Sounds good.
Let's talk about one of my favourite scenes, which is the kind of the training scene at the start with the brilliant kind of drill sergeant. My favourite bit in the entire film is that why do we need to learn how to throw a knife when I can just press a button and set the nuke off?
It is mad how hardcore they go, like the proper stabbing. They have no problem stabbing cadets and breaking limbs and everything is just horrendous.
Did you get a shock when the guy takes the round to his head when he takes his helmet off?
My jaw was on I just didn't see it coming at all. My jaw was on the floor because it happened so quickly as well. And you think you're in this controlled scenario. I was like, oh Jesus. And just the way his head like exploded proper. Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ.
One of my other favourite parts of this is, which is not in the book, and this was added for the film, is these infomercial kind of things that, do you want no more?
It's RoboCop, isn't it? It's the director going, let's do the RoboCop thing again. So like, yeah, I really like that element. I think it really deepens the world. You get an understanding of what the average person sees.
So, James, this continued on. It didn't have a lot of success at the cinema, it's fair to say. It got a cult following when it got to kind of DVD release and things like that, and it's regarded pretty well now. It had a number of sequels. So we get Starship Troopers 2, Hero of the Federation, number 3, which is Marauder. Then the next two, Invasion and Traitor of Mars, are both CGI efforts. They're not live action. But Caspar comes back and does the voice acting into them. I've seen the two live action ones. I've not seen the CGI one. But I've seen the two live action ones, and from memory, they're all right. I can't remember being blown away by them, but I think they're passable, they're passable. So overall, I think this is a great movie. I think this is a fun film. I think it moves along with quite a pace. I think the special effects are absolutely superb. And I just enjoyed it. I enjoy the kind of the hoo-ah nature of it all and the brain splatting bugs and creatures and all that kind of stuff. What did you think?
I really loved it. I love the universe. I think the character dynamic was really interesting. This kind of love triangle, team Dizzy all the way. It's just a lot of fun, man. It's just good action. There is kind of an ominous tone to it. I feel at the end, like when the soldiers are like, "It's afraid," and they're like, "Yeah," like as if that's a good thing.
I don't think we're the good guys. I think
absolutely not.
We're the pricks.
100%.
We've invaded the alien planet and all the rest of it. So yeah, I think there is an interesting element to it. Now, killer question for you, James. Killer question. We watched the early 90s Captain America movie. How quickly do you think we would have won this war with the Arachnids if we'd had good old Steve Rogers from that movie leading the charge?
I feel like he'd have got acided right away. He's no match for Johnny Rico. That Captain America is no match for Johnny Rico. I can tell you that for damn sure.
Okay, ladies and gents, that was our rapid review of Starship Troopers 1997. Join us next time when we're going to be taking a look at this.